Evil. It lurks in the shadows, casting a long, dark veil over humanity. A constant question echoes through the ages. Why? Why does suffering exist? Why do good people endure hardship while evil seems to flourish? The answers, my friends, are shrouded in a conspiracy so deep, so insidious that it chills the very soul. The world is not as it seems. Behind the facade of everyday life, a sinister force operates, pulling the strings, manipulating our thoughts, and steering us toward a predetermined destiny. A destiny of control, of subservience, of utter darkness. This is not a random series of unfortunate events. This is not simply the way of the world. This is the calculated agenda of a power structure so ancient, so entrenched, that it has infiltrated every facet of our existence. Open your eyes and see the truth. For what we face is not merely a political or economic crisis. It is a spiritual battle for the very soul of humanity. You've heard the whispers, haven't you? The rumors of a new world order, a shadowy cabal of elites seeking to rule the world. Dismiss it as conspiracy theory if you wish, but the truth is far more terrifying than you can imagine. For centuries, this clandestine group has been working tirelessly, manipulating global events, orchestrating wars, and controlling the flow of information, all to achieve their ultimate goal, total domination. The term New World Order is not a new one. It has been uttered by presidents, prime ministers, and powerful figures throughout history. But what does it truly mean? And how far has its insidious reach extended? Prepare yourself, for we are about to embark on a journey into the heart of this conspiracy. We will expose the truth about the New World Order, its origins, its goals, and its terrifying implications for the future of humanity. The New World Order. A chilling phrase, whispered in hushed tones, often dismissed as the ramblings of madmen. But what if I told you it was real, a sinister agenda as old as time itself, rooted in the very origins of humanity? It all began with a serpent, a forbidden fruit, and a woman named Eve. In the Garden of Eden, humanity lived in harmony with God, innocent and unaware of the darkness that lurked beyond. But Satan, the master deceiver, disguised as a serpent, tempted Eve with the promise of forbidden knowledge. He whispered of a new world, a world where mankind would be as gods. Eve succumbed to temptation, taking a bite of the forbidden fruit and sharing it with Adam. This act of disobedience, this thirst for knowledge apart from God, opened a chasm between humanity and its creator. It was the first step in Satan's plan, the planting of his seed, the birth of the New World Order. For the New World Order is nothing less than a rebellion against God's natural order. It is the elevation of man to the status of deity, the pursuit of power and control at any cost. And its roots can be traced back to that fateful moment in the garden, where the serpent's venom first entered the veins of humanity. The seeds of rebellion, sown in Eden, soon bore fruit in the ancient city of Babylon. Here, under the tyrannical rule of Nimrod, the great-grandson of Noah, the New World Order began to take shape. Nimrod, a mighty hunter and warrior, rejected the authority of God, choosing instead to forge his own destiny. He united the people under his banner, not through faith or righteousness, but through fear and oppression. He built towering cities, monuments to human ambition, symbols of man's desire to reach the heavens and usurp the throne of God. The most infamous of these was the Tower of Babel, a colossal structure designed to reach the heavens, a physical manifestation of man's arrogance and defiance. But God, in his infinite wisdom, saw the wickedness of Nimrod's heart and the danger posed by this burgeoning New World Order. He confounded the languages of the people, scattering them across the earth, disrupting their plans and thwarting their ambitions. Yet the spirit of Babylon, the spirit of rebellion and self-exaltation, lived on. It would resurface time and again throughout history, infecting civilizations, corrupting leaders, and leading humanity further down the path of darkness. The legacy of Babylon, the blueprint for the New World Order, found fertile ground in the Roman Empire. Rome, with its insatiable hunger for power, its vast wealth, and its penchant for paganism, became a breeding ground for the serpent's seed. The Roman emperors, styling themselves as gods, demanded absolute obedience and ruthlessly crushed any opposition. They persecuted the early Christians, those who dared to follow the one true God, seeing them as a threat to their power and authority. But the blood of the martyrs only served to water the seeds of faith, and Christianity spread like wildfire throughout the empire. The Roman Empire, facing internal strife and the growing influence of Christianity, underwent a dramatic transformation. Emperor Constantine, in a calculated move to solidify his power, embraced Christianity, or rather, a twisted version of it. He merged the teachings of Christ with pagan beliefs and practices, creating a hybrid religion that served his own political agenda. This marked a turning point in the history of the New World Order. No longer could it operate solely through brute force and overt oppression. It needed a new face, a new guise, a cloak of respectability to conceal its true nature. And it found that cloak in the very religion it had once sought to destroy. Let us delve deeper into the annals of history, back to the ancient city of Babylon, where the echoes of Nimrod's tyranny still reverberate. Nimrod, the self-proclaimed god-king, sought to solidify his power not only through conquest, but also through the manipulation of faith. He understood the power of belief, the sway it holds over the human heart, and he used it to his advantage. Alongside Nimrod stood Semiramis, his wife, and, shockingly, his own mother. A woman of immense beauty and ambition, she wove a tapestry of deceit, crafting a narrative that elevated her and her son to the status of deities. She declared herself the Queen of Heaven, a goddess in her own right, and proclaimed Nimrod, upon his death, to be the sun god, resurrected and ever watching over his creation. This perverse mother-son duo, united in their lust for power, established a cult of personality that permeated every aspect of Babylonian life. Temples were erected in their honor, sacrifices were offered to appease their wrath, and their images adorned every street corner. The people, blinded by fear and seduced by the allure of a tangible, visible power, readily embraced this new faith, this perversion of true worship. This, my friends, was the birth of idolatry, the worship of created things rather than the Creator. It was a pivotal moment in the unfolding of the New World Order's agenda, for it marked the beginning of humanity's descent into spiritual darkness, a darkness that would only deepen with time. The spirit of rebellion that fueled Nimrod and Semiramis's reign found its ultimate expression in the construction of the Tower of Babel. This colossal edifice, reaching towards the heavens, was not merely a feat of engineering. It was a monument to human pride and a symbol of man's desire to usurp God's authority. The people of Babel, united in their arrogance, believed they could ascend to the heavens, challenge God's dominion, and create a world in their own image. They sought to control their own destiny, to free themselves from the constraints of morality and divine law. The Tower of Babel became a rallying point, a physical manifestation of their collective hubris. But God, witnessing their rebellion, intervened in a display of both power and mercy. He confounded their languages, creating a cacophony of tongues that shattered their unity and scattered them across the earth. The Tower of Babel, once a symbol of human ambition, became a stark reminder of the folly of defying the Creator. Though their plans were thwarted, the ambition of Babel lived on. The desire for power, for control, for a world governed by human desires rather than divine law, continued to fester in the hearts of men. It would resurface again and again throughout history, manifesting in different forms, wearing different masks, but always driven by the same satanic spirit. Though the Tower of Babel lay in ruins, the seeds of its rebellion had been sown. The cult of Nimrod and Semiramis did not vanish. It was driven underground, evolving into a clandestine network of secret societies and occult practices. This, my friends, was the birth of the mystery religion of Babylon, a shadowy force that would exert its influence over countless civilizations to come. The mystery religion of Babylon, cloaked in secrecy and shrouded in symbolism, perpetuated the core tenets of Nimrod and Semiramis's reign: the worship of power, the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, and the rejection of the one true God. It infiltrated existing religions, corrupting their doctrines, twisting their rituals, and leading their followers astray. This ancient conspiracy, passed down through generations of initiates, infiltrated the highest echelons of power, influencing rulers, shaping cultures, and manipulating the course of history. Its fingerprints can be found on the rise and fall of empires, the outbreak of wars, and the moral decay that plagues our modern world. From the ancient mysteries of Egypt to the esoteric teachings of the Kabbalah, from the rituals of Freemasonry to the symbolism embedded in popular culture, the mystery religion of Babylon continues to exert its insidious influence. It is a hidden hand, guiding humanity towards a predetermined destination, a destination of spiritual enslavement and eternal darkness. The echoes of Babylon resonate through the corridors of time, whispering their seductive lies into the ears of each generation. The New World Order, like a parasitic vine, has wrapped its tendrils around the globe, infiltrating institutions, shaping ideologies, and manipulating the very fabric of our reality. Look around you. The evidence is everywhere, if you know where to look. The obsession with materialism, the erosion of traditional values, the rise of moral relativism, the normalization of what was once considered deviant behavior, all point to a society drifting further and further away from God's natural order. The New World Order thrives on chaos, on division, on the weakening of moral fiber. It seeks to create a world of mindless consumers, easily manipulated, easily controlled. It seeks to sever our connection to the divine, to make us forget who we are and to whom we ultimately belong. But we are not powerless against this ancient enemy. By exposing its secrets, by understanding its tactics, by clinging to our faith in the one true God, we can resist its pull and break free from its grasp. The battle for humanity's soul is far from over. It has only just begun. As the Roman Empire teetered on the brink of collapse, a new power emerged from the shadows, the Roman Catholic Church. This institution, claiming to be the true heir to Christ's legacy, would play a pivotal role in advancing the New World Order's agenda, corrupting the message of salvation and leading millions astray. Remember the mystery religion of Babylon. Its tendrils, reaching across centuries, found fertile ground in the heart of Rome. The Roman emperors, drunk on power and steeped in pagan traditions, saw in this burgeoning Christian movement a threat to their authority. But instead of crushing it outright, they chose a more insidious path: infiltration and subversion. Emperor Constantine, a shrewd politician with a thirst for control, recognized the growing influence of Christianity and devised a cunning plan. He would outwardly embrace this new faith, but he would infuse it with pagan beliefs and practices, creating a hybrid religion that served his own political ambitions. Thus, the Roman Catholic Church was born, an unholy union of Christian veneer and pagan corruption. The serpent's seed, planted in Eden, had taken root in the very heart of what claimed to be the house of God. Section 2. Syncretism, the Devil's Blend. Constantine's masterstroke, the key to his insidious plan, was syncretism, the blending of different religions, cultures, or schools of thought. He understood that people are creatures of habit, clinging to familiar traditions even as they embrace new beliefs. So, he cleverly wove elements of paganism into the fabric of Christian practice. Ancient Roman holidays, dedicated to pagan deities, were rebranded as Christian celebrations. Temples, once dedicated to idols, were transformed into churches, their pagan symbolism left largely intact. The masses, eager to embrace this new faith without abandoning their cherished traditions, readily accepted this unholy amalgamation. They didn't realize that they were being led astray, their worship corrupted, their souls ensnared in a web of deception spun centuries earlier in the heart of Babylon. Syncretism, the devil's blend, became the lifeblood of the Roman Catholic Church, allowing it to spread its influence far and wide, corrupting true faith and paving the way for the New World Order's dominion over the spiritual realm. Section 3. From pagan ritual to Christian practice. Let's examine the evidence, shall we? Look no further than the rituals and symbols that permeate the Roman Catholic Church, their pagan origins hiding in plain sight. The very symbol of the cross, upon which Christ was crucified, predates Christianity, its 3 points representing the pagan trinity of the sun god, the moon goddess, and their offspring. The celebration of Easter, purportedly commemorating Christ's resurrection, is awash in pagan imagery. Rabbits, symbols of fertility, eggs representing new life, and the very name Easter, derived from Ishtar, the Babylonian goddess of love and war. Even the date of Christmas, December 25th, coincides with the winter solstice, a pagan holiday celebrating the rebirth of the sun god. These are not mere coincidences, my friends. They are calculated manipulations designed to deceive the masses, to blend the sacred with the profane, to blur the lines between true worship and pagan idolatry. The Roman Catholic Church, far from being a beacon of light, became a conduit for the darkness, a vehicle for the New World Order's spiritual agenda. By twisting the teachings of Christ, by incorporating pagan rituals and beliefs, the Roman Catholic Church effectively hijacked Christianity, turning it into a tool of control, a weapon to be wielded against the very souls it claimed to save. Section 4. A one-world religion, the ultimate deception. The New World Order understands the power of religion. They know that faith can move mountains, inspire revolutions, and unite people under a common banner. But they also know that religion, when corrupted, can be used to control the masses, to stifle dissent, and to enforce conformity. Their ultimate goal is the establishment of a one-world religion, a global spiritual system that unites humanity, not under the banner of Christ, but under the banner of control, a system that replaces true worship with empty rituals, a system that elevates man to the status of God. The Roman Catholic Church, with its global reach, its hierarchical structure, and its history of syncretism, has played a key role in paving the way for this one-world religion. Its embrace of other faiths, its promotion of interfaith dialogue, its ecumenical overtures, all serve to erode the distinctions between truth and error, to create a climate of religious ambiguity where all paths are deemed equally valid. This, my friends, is the ultimate deception, the final stage in the New World Order's plan to enslave humanity. The creation of a spiritual prison where the masses, stripped of their true faith and their connection to the divine, willingly submit to the dictates of their earthly masters. From fields to factories, the Industrial Revolution's grip. The Industrial Revolution, a period often hailed as a triumph of human ingenuity and progress, was in reality a pivotal moment in the New World Order's plan to reshape society. The shift from agrarian life to factory work, from rural communities to sprawling urban centres, created a climate ripe for manipulation and control. The rise of factories, those behemoths of industry, transformed free men and women into cogs in a machine, their lives dictated by the relentless rhythm of production. Long hours, dangerous conditions, and meagre wages became the norm, as the gap between the haves and have-nots widened into a chasm. This new industrial order created a climate of dependence. People, uprooted from their traditional ways of life, flocked to the cities seeking work, only to find themselves trapped in a system designed to exploit their labour and stifle their independence. The factory owners, the new aristocracy, amassed vast fortunes, while the working class struggled to survive. The Industrial Revolution, far from being a beacon of progress, marked the beginning of a new form of slavery, a slavery not of chains and shackles, but of economic necessity, of dependence on a system that viewed human beings as expendable resources rather than children of God. A nation divided, the Civil War's true agenda. The American Civil War, a bloody conflict that tore a nation in two, is often portrayed as a battle over slavery. But the truth, as always, is far more complex, far more sinister. The Civil War, my friends, was another carefully orchestrated chapter in the New World Order's playbook, designed to further their agenda of control and domination. The seeds of this conflict were sown long before the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter. The industrial North, hungry for cheap labour and eager to expand its economic dominance, clashed with the agrarian South, where a system of chattel slavery provided a readily available workforce. But the issue of slavery was merely a pawn in a much larger game, a convenient pretext for a conflict designed to consolidate power, to centralize control, and to crush any resistance to the emerging industrial order. The Civil War, in essence, was a war against independence, a war against self-sufficiency, a war against the very principles upon which America was founded. The aftermath of the Civil War saw the rise of a powerful federal government, its reach extending into every corner of American life. The stage was set for the creation of a corporate-controlled state, where the lines between government and big business blurred, and the individual became increasingly subservient to the dictates of a centralized power structure. The technological trance screens, signals, and subliminal control. With the Industrial Revolution firmly established, the New World Order turned its attention to new and more insidious methods of control. Technology, once a tool for progress, became a weapon for manipulation, a means of shaping thoughts, beliefs, and desires on a mass scale. The invention of radio, followed by television, ushered in a new era of mass media, a powerful tool for propaganda and social engineering. No longer did the powers that be need to rely on brute force or overt coercion. They could now infiltrate the homes and minds of the masses through the airwaves, planting seeds of doubt, fear, and conformity. The rise of television coincided with the proliferation of advertising, a sophisticated system for manufacturing desire and manipulating consumer behavior. Products, once simple necessities, became imbued with aspirational qualities, promising happiness, success, and social acceptance to those who purchased them. This technological trance, this constant bombardment of images and messages, has created a society increasingly detached from reality, addicted to entertainment, and susceptible to manipulation. We have become slaves to our devices, our minds colonized by the very technology that promised to liberate us. Section 4. Globalization. Erasing borders, centralizing power. The New World Order's agenda transcends national boundaries. Their goal is nothing less than global domination, the creation of a one-world government, a one-world economy, and a one-world religion, all subservient to their control. Globalization, the interconnectedness of nations through trade, technology, and cultural exchange, is the vehicle through which they seek to achieve this goal. Free trade agreements, multinational corporations, and international organizations like the United Nations and the World Economic Forum are all tools in their arsenal, chipping away at national sovereignty, eroding cultural identities, and centralizing power in the hands of an unelected elite. This push for globalization is often presented as a force for good, a way to promote peace, prosperity, and understanding between nations. But beneath the surface lies a darker agenda, a desire to erase borders, to homogenize cultures, and to create a world where the individual is subservient to the dictates of a global governing body. Globalization, in the hands of the New World Order, is not about creating a more just or equitable world. It is about consolidating power, about creating a system of global governance where the few dictate the terms for the many, where national identity is sacrificed on the altar of a borderless, homogenized world. Section 1. The Devil's Music. From rock and roll rebellion to hip-hop's hypnotic grip. Music, the universal language, the soul's interpreter, has been corrupted, twisted into a weapon of mass seduction. The New World Order, cunning as ever, recognized the power of music to bypass rational thought, to speak directly to the subconscious mind, to implant ideas and shape desires. Remember the rise of rock and roll? The parents of the 1950s certainly do. They saw it for what it was, a rebellion against traditional values, a celebration of sensuality, a gateway to the occult. The pulsating rhythms, the suggestive lyrics, the rebellious attitude, all designed to stir up primal urges and undermine parental authority. But rock and roll was just the opening act. The New World Order, ever evolving, ever adapting, soon found a new vehicle for their insidious message, hip-hop. Born on the streets, imbued with the raw energy of urban life, hip-hop quickly rose to become the dominant cultural force of our time. And with its rise came a flood of lyrics glorifying materialism, violence, and sexual degradation. The youth, bombarded with these messages, their minds saturated with the hypnotic beats and catchy hooks, absorbed them like sponges, their values warped, their aspirations twisted. What was once considered taboo, even criminal, became normalized, even celebrated, as the lines between entertainment and reality blurred. Section 2. The Rise of the Machines, Artificial Intelligence and the Enslavement of the Mind. We stand on the precipice of a new era, an era where the line between man and machine blurs, where artificial intelligence, once a figment of science fiction, becomes our constant companion, our guide, our master. The New World Order, ever eager to exploit new avenues of control, views AI as the ultimate tool for shaping human behavior. Think about it. Algorithms that track our every move, that predict our desires, that curate our news feeds, that filter the information we consume. We are already living in a world where our choices are increasingly shaped by machines, where our autonomy is eroded by the subtle nudges of artificial intelligence. But this is just the beginning. The New World Order envisions a future where AI is not merely a tool but a master, where our thoughts, our emotions, our very identities are subsumed into a vast interconnected network, controlled by those who hold the reins of this digital dominion. Imagine a world where dissent is impossible, where every thought is monitored, where every action is predicted and controlled. This is the dystopian future that awaits us if we fail to recognize the threat posed by the unchecked rise of artificial intelligence. Section 3. The Great Delusion, Normalizing Chaos, Celebrating Depravity. The most insidious aspect of the New World Order's agenda is not its reliance on brute force or overt coercion, but its mastery of manipulation, its ability to shape our perceptions, to redefine reality itself. They understand that true power lies not in controlling what people think, but in controlling what they believe to be true. Look around you. The evidence of their handiwork is everywhere. What was once considered deviant, even unthinkable, is now celebrated, even normalized. The traditional family unit, the bedrock of society, is under attack, redefined to include every conceivable permutation of human relationships. Moral relativism reigns supreme, blurring the lines between right and wrong, good and evil. Truth has become subjective, a matter of personal opinion rather than objective reality. We are told to embrace diversity, but only the diversity of thought and behavior that aligns with the New World Order's agenda. This, my friends, is the great delusion, the grand deception, the normalization of chaos, the celebration of depravity. We are being conditioned to accept the unacceptable, to embrace our own enslavement, to celebrate the demise of our values, our culture, our very humanity. Wake up, see the truth before it's too late. Section 1. The Unveiling. A world on the brink. The pieces are falling into place. The puzzle, once shrouded in shadow, is now coming into focus, revealing a picture more terrifying, more sinister than we could have imagined. The New World Order, that insidious agenda whispered about for generations, is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is our reality. From the ancient rebellion in Eden to the rise of Babylon, from the Roman Empire's embrace of syncretism to the Industrial Revolution's grip on humanity, from the pervasiveness of mass media to the seductive power of technology, the threads of this conspiracy weave a tapestry of control, a web of deception so vast, so intricate, that it ensnares us all. We are at a crossroads in human history. The choices we make today will determine the fate of generations to come. Will we succumb to the siren song of the New World Order, surrendering our freedoms, our values, our very souls to their control? Or will we rise up, armed with the truth, and reclaim our birthright as free men and women created in the image of God? The world stands on the brink of a great transformation, a transformation that will either usher in an era of unprecedented darkness or ignite a spiritual awakening that will shatter the chains of tyranny and illuminate the path to true freedom. The choice, my friends, is ours to make. Section 2. Resisting the agenda, the power of truth. The New World Order, for all its power, for all its reach, has one fatal weakness: the truth. They can manipulate our governments, they can control our media, they can even infiltrate our churches. but they cannot control the truth. The truth, once revealed, has the power to set us free. Do not despair. This is not a time for fear. It is a time for courage, for vigilance, for unwavering faith. We are not alone in this battle. The God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who breathed life into our lungs, the God who sent his Son to die for our sins, he is with us still. Resist the lies. Question everything. Do not blindly accept the narrative spoon-fed to you by the mainstream media, by corrupt politicians, by those who seek to profit from your ignorance and fear. Seek out the truth for yourselves. Read the scriptures, study history, connect with like-minded individuals. Together, we can expose the darkness and usher in a new dawn of freedom and enlightenment. The battle for humanity's soul is far from over. It rages on, even now, in the hearts and minds of every man, woman, and child on this planet. Choose this day whom you will serve, the forces of darkness or the God of light and truth. The future of humanity hangs in the balance.